Hello, my name is Mubarak Waseem and welcome to another Hedonic design tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you a simple text indentation effect that you can see I have now applied to the word Photoshop tutorials in this intro slide. So let's get right into the tutorial. I've got here a nice long document, sort of a panoramic view, and what I'm going to do is quickly apply a background gradient to my document, and I'm going to apply a blue. Now if you remember from the last tutorial I showed you a really nice quick technique for getting gradients of a different colour, so I'm just going to apply that technique there and maybe do the same thing here. And now that we have our gradient, I'm going to go straight in and start typing the text. Now there are different types of gradients that you might use when you're different types of indentations that you might be able to use when you're typing text. For example, if I type in here my text, I can indent the text in a number of different ways. For example, one way is to add a black drop shadow to the text. Now if I go on blending options by clicking here, the default drop shadow, of course, does not make the text look indented. It, in fact, sort of makes it look, it makes it pop out of the background. So what we do is we change the size down to 0 and the distance down to 1, and we untick Use Global Light, and we move the angle to -90 degrees. And we can increase the distance here like so. And then if we add a small gradient to our text, it increases this effect. So you can see a small black drop shadow just appearing above the text makes it look like there's an inner shadow, which again incidentally is an effect that you can use if I untick this and tick inner shadow. Except what I don't like about inner shadow is that inner shadow actually affects the white text itself, whereas this drop shadow doesn't affect the white text. It comes on top of the white text, so we see the entire letter. The alternative in the inner shadow effect actually encroaches onto the text itself. If we do that, you can see that the alternative actually encroaches onto the white text, which is not what we want. We want not what I want. You might want that for your own projects, but for my projects I like the text to be shown entirely as it is. So you make sure the size is 0, and I'll change it to something like 3, and then I'll take down the opacity. However, this doesn't work for everything. For example, if your text itself is a black color, then you're going to have real trouble actually applying this, because you won't be able to see it and it will look horrible. And if you change it to white, it doesn't look embossed at all. In fact, it pops out. So in that case, what we do is we reverse the angle by holding Shift and just clicking above the 90, reversing the angle to from -90 to 90 degrees, and that creates the opposite effect. So you either use white on the bottom of the text or black on the top of the text, and this works for all fonts, and the effect works for any text that you might want to put in. And of course, rules apply. The bigger the text, for example, if we scale our text up to here, the bigger the drop shadow has to be. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks very much for watching, and as always, leave your comments, questions and feedback below, and I'll try and do better, more, and all round, well, as I said before, better tutorials next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.